Howdy ho, folks. We should be live. Today is Saturday, October 25th. The time right now is 4:55 p.m. and I'm here on College Street, and that is a view to the east somewhat. Temperature's around 11 degrees Celsius. Let me just check to see that everything is coming in nice and clear on the stream and the audio is working. Howdy ho, folks. Seems to be the case. Helena's here, Medano, Michael, Yogi, Jasmine, Epic Nation HD, Gail, Trojan Elk Explorer, Alex, Susan, Jasmine, Raul, Jeffrey, Jennifer, Victoria. Thank you guys so much. Oh, Jeanette, Aiden Thompson McGuire, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And thanks to everyone who tuned in to last night's stream. Well, the one on this channel, as well as the one I did on the Johnny Stumbles channel. That's my other channel. We watched a hell of a baseball game together. Go Jays. They put up a crooked number and a half in the bottom of the sixth inning, winning by a pretty sweet margin. So go Jays. Game 2 is tonight. The lineups just came out. No Bo Bichette in the lineup tonight. Well, at least not starting. He'll probably be brought in off the bench at some point. But Tavane Palmer's here. Greetings, Vivian. Marg D. Happy birthday, Marg D. Christopher, the happy-go-lucky one. So I've got plans. I'm going to a friend's home to watch the Blue Jays game. I'm gonna order some food. I got some beers in the backpack, just because I want to be a good guest, not just, drink all of their booze. But yeah, there'll be no live stream during the game tonight, and this will be less of a baseball themed stream than yesterday when I went to the Dome and we checked out some of the pre-game action. There's College Street. Maybe, I don't really have a plan for this one, but maybe what I can do is go north a little bit and we can walk through Harvard Village. It's been a while since I've walked through Harvard Village. Or at least it feels like it. You can see a lot of those nice fall colors kicking in. There's a dude running. Let's get out of his way. Greetings, David. Yeah, that was an awesome game last night. And if they lose today, no pressure. It's a new series, 1-1. But if they win, holy shit, I think we'll be pretty much on the brink of making it happen. There's the little Jerry. Aiden Thompson McGuire, holy cow. Thank you so much for the super chat, Aiden Thompson McGuire. I'll heart and like that. Cheers to you, good sir. Thank you very much. MM says, I love these walk around trips. Well, normally on a Saturday, I would target more busy, lively, vibrant areas and that sort of thing. That's not really the mood I'm in today, so at least not immediately. So let's head up Bathurst Street for a little bit here. Up to Harvard. And there used to be a really nice Starbucks here on the right. But they closed a lot of their stores in the city, well, all over North America recently. It looks like Danico, something new is moving in, maybe. Greetings, Toronto doo-wop music guy. Let's look south down Bathurst. There's Sneaky D's on the left. Chris Mills says, afternoon friends, lots more baseball to go. Yeah, at least 3 more games. I hope there's only 3 more games. Because if there are only 3 more games, well, that means we're going to be doing the happy dance. My friend who's sitting very near home plate today, he's got some absolutely sick tickets that were a corporate hookup. Came over today and picked up my Jays jersey. He didn't have time to get one himself. He said he went to one store and they were sold out. And another store had a massive lineup. So he texted me last night asking if he could come over and borrow my jersey to wear to the game. I said, go for it. It's a Josh Donaldson jersey. So I'm looking forward to seeing that on TV. He said last night he saw his boss on TV sitting where he's going to be sitting. Greetings, Zach McNally. I'm Mike Wazowski and would love to live in Toronto. Greetings, Mike. Howard Charco's here. Howard, I didn't have a chance today to get those cookies because my friend, our timing didn't line up when he had to. I was waiting around for him to come by to pick up the jersey, and then it was a matter of, do I have time to get out and make content, which I need to do today. So I'm going to try to get it tomorrow. You know what I'm talking about. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. Monday would be the latest. But we are going north up Bathurst Street just to Harvard. St. Moses Table, serving the community warm 4-course meals with love. So we're on the very western edge of downtown. You and Sully would love to live here. It's your dream. You're doing the Monsters, Inc. thing. It's a pretty good movie. I normally prefer the DreamWorks movies over the Pixar. They're a little more adult humor oriented. Lisa's here. Lisa, I saw Clandestinos, which will appear at the end of the video I just recorded before this. I think you know which route I probably took. May or may not have included Palmerston. It's really tricky to capture all the fall colors this year at their peak because a lot of trees are green, but some of them are kind of at their peak yellows and reds, and some of them are already going bare. We're having a bit of a muted fall color season, I guess you could say. Mike says it's their favorite movie. Well, the plan's to go north up to Harvard, and then maybe we'll probably end up on Bloor. B35853 if you're looking for a rental. Yeah, the big game tonight is 8 o'clock. Yamamoto versus Gossman. And we learned last night the Dodgers bullpen is certainly a bit shaky. Perhaps even more than ours. Jays did a phenomenal job of driving up the pitch count. They had a number of times they were 0-2 in the count and ended up getting on base with a walk. Alejandro Kirk was just having incredible at-bat after incredible at-bat. That guy was fighting off everything. Greetings, Euro Bumblefoot. Helena says, had Monsters, Inc. and Pokemon cushions in your teens? Lisa is cheating on Toronto. She's in Montreal. Jenny says, if I'm going anywhere near Scotiabank, the Leafs are playing early tonight. No, I did the whole sports arena and stadium thing last night. The Raptors were playing just from experience doing the whole YouTube thing, you want to go on game one to sort of capture the mass excitement for that sort of thing. I mean, it would be cool to go there, but it would literally be exactly the same scene as yesterday, except instead of a Raptors crowd, you would have a Leafs crowd. Greetings, Josh. And believe it or not, there are some people that don't give a hoot about sports, so can't just be all Blue Jays on both of my channels, as much as I would like that. Bad ending to UFC. Aspinall got eye poked. That was in Vancouver too, right? To be honest with you, I missed it. Because I had that video that I posted this morning to edit after the game, and it had like 1 million music copyrights in it. And I recorded a whole bunch of B-roll footage for it. I was gonna do it in a slightly different style, and I decided to bail on that, and I just posted the main walking video portion. You'll notice some of the intro clips don't actually appear later on in the video. What time is the game? I think just after 8 p.m. will be first pitch. A lot of Dodger fans were saying Pages needs to come out of the lineup. I knew it was Pages, but I was saying Pages for a while in my head. I wonder whose name gets mispronounced more. Nathan Lucas, L-U-K-E-S. You'll hear a lot of people saying Lukes, including commentators, or Pages. So I'm sure he gets called Pages by people that haven't heard it. I had heard it before, I just stubbornly never corrected myself. But welcome to Harvard Village. On a nice fall Saturday. The word nice is subjective. If you're a fan of street art and murals and that sort of thing, this would be a nice neighborhood. At least I tried to get reservations at a pub tonight, but they're all booked. So Mexican it is. I went to like a Cuban cigar pub in Montreal. It was one that overlooked one of the murals of Leonard Cohen. That was kind of neat. Good village, that Harvard. Annex, it is not. It's very much its own thing. It's also clandestinos.
I'm so serious. The whole board's from there. Yeah.
Pizza Gigi. I might be having pizza tonight. We're just doing takeout. Kevin Hawthorne's here. Alicia Lewis. Jeff Wall photographs. Photographer extraordinaire, probably.
Hi, Nico.
I probably should come back and do a new walk along Croft Street at some point. It's a laneway, but it's called the street. It's kind of wide. There's a lot of laneway homes on it. Tons and tons of art that's always changing every time I go through there. On the garage doors. Hey, Mike Landry, number 2 is here. Let's make the Dodgers pay the tariff tonight. Why would the Dodgers pay the tariff? It's the importing nation that pays it. So if we import something, we pay it. Tariff is just a tax on the country bringing the goods into the country. I mean, the idiot running the country down south doesn't seem to understand that, or at least he doesn't want Americans to understand that, but that's what they are. Let's beer store those Dodgers, close them down. Did I get your reference right? Haddock Fish Specials, 1999. This place is apparently legendary. Haddock, cod, halibut, bassa. What the hell is bassa? It's almost always haddock, cod, or halibut when you get fish and chips. Cynthia says, oh, we understand it? Well, about half of your country doesn't. Chris Mill says, not a commonly held belief down south. Everyone's like, Canada's mad at the US over the tariffs. It's like, what? You're the ones paying those. That's not why we're mad. I mean, you should be mad over those. Michael So says, you love fish and chips? This is a really neat neighborhood. It's got a very, like, 70s feel to it. And this is Brunswick Avenue. For my money, the stretch through Palmerston is the nicest, but that is west of here. At least it says bassa is a cheap fish. Boys of Major Lane. I once looked up why that lane had that name, but I am not remembering. There's a little Esso. Lisa says, hey Brunswick. Are you doxing yourself, Lisa? And hey, we've got almost 400 viewers already. Thank you so much, guys. I'll be out of your way well before the Jays game. Probably well before 7. Oh, this place is new. It replaced a place that suddenly closed over the summer. Ale Brije. Colorful, fantastical creature from Mexican folk art. That is very useful. I'm glad they spelled it out phonetically like that. You got no excuse to butcher their name when they do that. There's the Harvard House, things Japanese. Howard Charco says, tariff is a tax. Yes, and Ronald Reagan said exactly what he said. He was very anti-tariff as a long-term measure. And here's the store that I was once with Liam and some others. And I saw a plant in there. I wanted to buy it. It was like 75 bucks. And I went in there with my live streaming gear. And I even asked, it was either Liam or Vasily, will you carry this to the subway while I finish my stream for me? And they said yes. And I went in there and they kicked me out. They're like, no recording. I'm like, I want to buy a plant. Your loss. So I never spent my money there. They lost my business. I mean, it's private property. It's their right to say no recording, but I literally just pointed the camera in the doorway right at a plant and got the boot. I'm way too spiteful to give you my business after that. I'd rather hand money to Mr. Bezos than you if you do that. New to yoga. Apparently this piano place is pretty damn good. Sure, Lisa can probably fill us in on that one. Stan is here. Greetings, Stan. All right, let's go north. This is Spadina. I want to be line 2 adjacent when I wrap this up. There's the University of Toronto graduate housing building. Chinatown is south of here. It's really unfortunate that building doesn't have like a window in front of it. Look at all the businesses in there. The Pig Out Barbecue. Cora Papacio Pizza lost the battle. That used to be a pizza place. Greetings, Marge. Marg D says hi to Christos. So if you're just tuning in, I started down on College Street, a little bit east of Bathurst. Made my way over to Bathurst, then it was north to Harvard. Now we're going north up Spadina. Lisa says nothing is opened in that building. I went to like a house party, or I guess an apartment party in that building like 20 years ago. I just remember being in there. That's me, yeah.
Yeah, oh wow.
Do you want to be on a live stream?
Oh, you're in live?
We're live right now.
Okay.
So.
No, I just want to tell you, before we move here, we actually watch all your videos.
Awesome. Where'd you move from?
Indonesia.
Oh, wow. It's cool. I've been to Bali, but never like the real Indonesia.
You've been to Bali?
But not like Jakarta or like...
Oh.
We're from Jakarta.
Yeah, we're from
So I should go?
Yeah. Why not?
Well, welcome to Toronto. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to meet you. Cheers. They're from Indonesia. Awesome. Super friendly, but seemed a little camera shy. That's why I always ask. I mean, if I incidentally capture you, it is what it is, so be it. You're in public, but I think it's a general courtesy to ask before pointing a camera at someone if they're going to be featured. Indonesia is such a huge, huge country, but they do not have a whole lot of people immigrating from it relative to other countries in that part of the world. You'll meet a lot more Filipino Canadians and Vietnamese Canadians than you will Indonesians. Even though Indonesia, I think, population-wise is much, much larger. And that leads into the University of Toronto's St. George campus. Samantha says, pumped for the game tonight and enjoying all the live streams. Johnny, have fun tonight. Well, that makes you and me both pumped. And I guess I'm enjoying them too. Lisa says it's a bit gray in Montreal. I've been putting a little more focus on live streaming lately than the pre-recorded videos, just before it gets bitterly cold and it's miserable to be out here for hours at a time. I thought I'd squeeze in a few more live streams than normal. I'll still be streaming all winter, of course, but they tend to be a little shorter and fewer and further between. Not saying I'm a wimp in the cold weather, but I'm a bit of a wimp in the cold weather. Alana says, pretty street indeed. Greg says, Indonesia is a photographer's dream. In my mind, I read that as photographer. I'm like, no one says photographer. Cynthia Sunflower loves live streams. Carl says live streaming this time of year is the best. If I could turn the temperature dial up about 3 degrees, I would. It's just cool enough that when there's a breeze, my nose starts to run and my fingers get a bit cold. I would also turn the blue in the sky up a little bit. And the colors up on the trees, but life doesn't work that way. You don't get to play Mother Nature. Denmark says, Johnny Strides number one. Number one at what? Carl says, these fall colors are amazing. I find they're not popping quite as much this year. That might have to do with like the sky and the lighting. There's not quite the same pop or vibrance as we get some years. But that doesn't mean they're not spectacular. So to the left is the heart of the Annex neighborhood. To the right is still the Annex. Just a little less so in terms of the busy and popular spots, but that's the direction I shall be walking. Smart Investor says, hello, bot. Jillian says, Johnny has 12 months of fame. What the heck does that mean? Usually it's 10 minutes of fame. There's a map of the University of Toronto. We are here, and we are going to be walking that away. Well, hopefully today is like the second game of the Yankees series, where the Jays kicked their ass for the second consecutive time. Although at the end of the game, they kind of let the Yankees offense get going. Andy Wood says 15 minutes. There we go. Howard Charco says we need a frosty night to change the color of the trees. I didn't know that it works that way, Howard, but if true, that would be awesome. I've been in that building once a long time ago. A story that shall go untold. Carl says we have a feeling it's going to be a milder than normal fall and a very short winter if we don't get anything at all this year. Jenny says rest day for tomorrow. I'll probably do a regular stumble stream tomorrow night. No baseball. The Jays will be going to LA. Denmark says, I love that reconstruction and ironwork. They're just straight up having a condo shoot out of that. I need to do a live Rosedale Valley Road to Don Valley Brickworks. Hey, don't give away my secrets in future planned videos. Someone will be writing that down and do it for sure. But yeah, that very thing is on the to-do list. Carl says there should be a YouTube streamed Walk of Fame. I don't know, what does it take to get on that Walk of Fame? I don't think the bar would be very high. Jennifer Gala, is this Ottawa? No, this is Toronto. There's one of my favorite spots on the right. I always go to this location, the Gayubi all-you-can-eat Japanese grill. And the way that works is you have to get on a waiting list. So all these people here are standing around waiting to get moved up on the list. It tells you, I think, when you're like 15 or 20 minutes away. And you get on that list through Yelp. But it makes sense. That way they don't have empty tables sitting around for people that have reservations. There's still some that believe it's the Dodgers versus the Yankees tonight. Who is that daft? Mr. D in the squad says, go Jays in game 2. Jays up 2-0. That's the hope. But even if they lose, it feels pretty good to take that first one in the fashion that we did. We're in UFT country. Well, I uploaded a video predicting the Jays in 7. But it might be 5 or 6 if they play like they did last night again. Years ago, you brought Tupperware to all-you-can-eat sushi. Very classy. L'espresso. There's a dude posing. Hi from Tommy and Jenny. Hello. And Mark D. Happy birthday to you once again. Someone says the Annex is their home. I think those people mentioned they were going to Sushi on Bloor. No, Jennifer Gala, if they win, they're up 2-0. It's the best of 7. 2 in Toronto, 3 in LA. Well, 5, game 5 if necessary. And then back here for 2. Oh, hello. We're live right now. Do you want to be on it? Sure. Hello. All right. Take care. Hey, it's the guy who goes live on YouTube. And this is Varsity Stadium. Hi from Berlin. It's so great to walk with you around this wonderful Toronto area. Well, greetings and thank you for the channel membership. Greg Hybers is here. Phantom Canuck is back. And we've got 562 of you tuned in. Thank you so much, guys. If you want to join in the chat, you do have to be subscribed, but it doesn't cost anything. Phantom Canuck says, I like your voice. I should do ASMR. I don't know. I find ASMR stuff to be kind of creepy when people like whisper and try to make noises. I could do like the ASMR like walking through a bunch of leaves or something, or snow. But There is nothing ASMR-like about a dude talking. That was a whole thing on Twitch for a while, right? Girls would sit in like a hot tub and kind of whisper into the camera, and it would be very suggestive. I think they cracked down on that kind of content for obvious reasons. But yeah, ASMR, not my thing. If it's your thing, good for you, but to do proper ASMR outside, you need like binaural audio recording. That's where it records the left and the right channels, but it simulates there being something in between blocking, because your ears have your brain in between, right? So when you hear stuff, the way it's processed is different than just a traditional stereo recording, pumping stuff into your left and right channels. You can get special recording devices that do that. Another weird niche or genre I'm not into very much is mukbang. I do not want to watch people eat or listen to it, nor do I want to be the one on camera. I mean, it's one thing if I'm like eating a snack or something incidentally, or even a slice of pizza on a home stream, but just to set out to record you eating, no thanks. Nobody needs to see that. Greg says, so weird. Hey, to each their own. There's people that are into it. Good for them. I just kind of find it weird. And I'm very much not into it. Jennifer Gallus says binaural is very cool. Samsung Buds can record in binaural. Yeah, there's a guy who does them in the UK. And it's actually like earbuds that he wears that records it at the left and right. You could kind of simulate it by putting like my little Rode Wireless Go's on either side of my head, just clipped into my hat. Lisa says your brain is in between your ears, baby lol. Hey Lisa, you sent a super chat and I didn't even have to like break something or drop something or have a massive technical failure, but thank you so much, Lisa, for the super chat. You could have just called me Captain Obvious, but my point was because you've got your brain sandwiched between your ears, that's why you hear things very differently out of your left ear than your right. And just having stereo recording on a camera or microphone doesn't record audio in the same way that you hear it. That's the whole point of binaural recording. This person's trying to flag a cab the old-fashioned way. All right, I'm not going to run. The timer's almost all the way down. This is Queen's Park. There's a look to the south if you're wondering where the Sky Dome is and where the Jays are playing. It's down that way. Hey, Tavane! Once again with the super. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for the support and the super chat. Cheers to you. Lorraine McLean saying hi to all. Greetings, Lorraine. Crikey in the house. Okay, let's get going. There's someone on an electric unicycle. John says he's eating big time. Don't look. Howard Charco says, who knows which organ of the body has the highest percentage of body fat? Organ. Organs have fat, or which one is surrounded by body fat? Because you have your visceral fat, which is underneath, that is invisible, but is also extremely deadly. And you have the fat that is very visible on your outer layer. But organs have fat? That's about the extent of my anatomy knowledge. Espero letting everyone know why people hate the sound of their own voice recorded. Because people no longer hear the resonance and bass through our torso and skull. Helena says liver. Bucky Smith says liver. Some people probably just drop that into Gemini or ChatGPT. Yeah, almost a slip of the tongue, Young SC. I don't know why. Howard says your brain. Is that true? Do you have fatty cells in your head? John says the skin. I'm still confused as to how an organ would have body fat. Ivan says, where am I at? We are on Bloor Street West, going east in the fancy-ass Yorkville neighborhood.
It's actually like...
There's Burberry, where Pottery Barn used to be. Van Cleef and Arpels, possibly the dumbest name store. At least it sounds dumb to me. I know that's someone's name and that's probably rude, but imagine spending a lot of money at Van Cleef and Arpels. Then there's Hermes, where if you want to buy their most expensive stuff, you have to buy a whole lot of other expensive stuff for them and have an established history. They sell one handbag that is super in demand, only because they limit who they can sell it to. It's kind of like Rolex. They do that. If you want to buy like a $100,000 Rolex, they'll check your order history, and if you haven't bought a lot of lower ones first, they will not sell it to you. That's one of the reasons why there's such a big secondhand Rolex market. And Hermes is very similar to that. Howard says, so take it as a compliment if you're called a fathead. It's pronounced Arpels, says Marge. Oh well, no offense to anyone who likes shopping there. You obviously are doing pretty well for yourself, or you've got a massive credit card bill. I'm curious to see what Tiffany's does with the facade here, though. That's quite the big canvas they have. It'll really change the appearance of this intersection. And we are at Bay and Bloor, where for some reason a cab is pulling a U-turn. Michael says, you're all wrong. The organ is the butt. Have I tried to book Sumo Tokyo tickets? You're having a tough time? Negative. I've never seen Sumo. Period. That was not on my list of things to do. I went to the Samurai show, which is run by a bunch of Americans. It apparently is very un-Japanese, but it is super entertaining. It was originally the robot show that dazzled Anthony Bourdain, and that's why everyone goes to it. Everyone I met there was a foreigner, saying that they only went there because they saw Bourdain went there, even though they changed the show, and I think they even changed the venue. There's Italy on the right. If you're ever in the area and you're in need of a restroom, pop into Italy. They've got a nice one up by the Gelato Cafe. It's the tallest building in Canada. Yonge and Bloor West, over 300 meters tall. Hey, Chris, the Pepsi driver's here. Greetings, Chris. What the hell is that noise? When I met a reporter for a major media outlet the other week, that's where we went, to the AOK Cafe, which is attached to Aritzia. She wanted to meet somewhere near bike lanes. I just said, how about Yonge and Bloor? There's a number of cafes in the area. And that's where we ended up. Once that article is published, I'll let you guys know. She said it wouldn't be paywalled online. We're all the Blue Jays fans. We're in the north end of downtown. Yesterday, I was poking around the dome around this time, but today we're just doing a old-fashioned stream through a different part of town. This is Yonge Street. And I look up. Chris, the Pepsi driver, says, "Go Jays, go." Man, I am so jealous at my friend who came over to pick up my Jays jersey. He gets to be just a few rows up, right behind home plate. Where he's sitting is slightly off angle, so he won't be in the main television shot, but whenever the camera moves around, you should be able to see him. So Bloor Street West has become Bloor Street East. We're now on the east side of downtown. Here's a dude in a Blue Jays jersey, very much like the one I lent my buddy. And if you guys remember Bart, aka Dahan, the dude I went to Thailand with a few years ago, he just texted me that he's got a bunch of tickets to Game 6 and 7. His brother lucked out on Ticketmaster and is able to get the maximum amount of tickets. I don't really know his brother all that well, so I'm probably pretty low in the totem pole, but he said if any aren't spoken for, he would let me know. So what I'm saying is there's a chance I can go to game 6 or 7. And to pay face value, that would be pretty sweet. New City says, hello, glad to see the sun shining. And go Jays, go. I like that MasterCard did that. I wish more companies would do that. You don't have to write your stupid name all over everything. Just have your logo. We all know what that is. I'm not saying it's artistic or anything, but I like it. Craigie says, I kid you not, the only Bart I know is Bart Simpson. Yeah, I called him Bart in the stream as a joke. Hey, kudos to that delivery guy walking his e-bike on the sidewalk. It's probably out of battery or has a flat tire, but nevertheless. Chris the Pepsi driver says 6'7". Oh God. I watched a whole video on the origins of that phrase. And I have to say, it's just about the stupidest thing humanity has ever picked up and started doing. Crystal says, I think it had more to do with space than art. They easily could have written MasterCard underneath that spot. Other companies were on there with their name and their logo. I'm not just saying I like that because I hold some MasterCard stock. I'm not saying that. South Park 6'7". My friend just messaged. Not sure what dinner's gonna be. There's gonna be 3 of us. So they're gonna order something, I think. Christoph says, what, 6'7"? Don't ask. Michael says, we going to Sherbourne? We're going past Sherbourne. We're just going east for a while. And they win tonight 10-2. I'm going to say tonight's score is 5-3. But I'm not going to say who wins because I have a feeling it might not be the result we want. Under promise, over deliver. Set your expectations low, and you'll be happier when they're met or exceeded. Every time I go to a sports event, no matter how favored we are, or the team I'm rooting for is, I never tell myself we're going to win going into it. There were a lot of very sad and crushed people at Game 1 versus the Mariners around me. I handled it pretty well. I mean, it was still a sinking feeling, but I wasn't crying like some people were. Zach McNally says Leafs 1-1, 8-4. You're thinking 8-5? I'm thinking with Yamamoto and Gosman. And hey, the Dodgers bats aren't exactly cooking. I was a little bit surprised we didn't see Brendan Little last night. That would have been a good spot. because everyone's going to be super nervous if he gets put in a tight situation. Lisa says, this is the Blue Jays year, we're getting it. Or no, hey Johnny, drinking beers tonight? I've got beers in my backpack. Although where I'm going has booze. Always bring some of your own. Don't be a mooch. Although I am going to put my coat on. I've got my coat in my backpack. It is getting just chilly enough. And there was some disgusting pig of a human being coughing on the subway and not covering her mouth. And she was sitting next to me, and I shot her a very dirty look when she did it. And then when she did it again, I got up and left the area. I didn't feel like saying anything, but that was extremely nasty. That's how people get colds. You get exposed to it, and then you walk around when you're cold. And next thing you know, you're under the weather. So I'm going to put my coat on. One second. There we go, got the audio back hooked up. Tripsy and Boo says hi. All right, this should fend off any colds. Let's get moving. Jays fans need to stop booing Ohtani. You're just poking the bear. That's fun though. Although he wasn't the one who said he was going to be on the plane and started that rumor. He never misled anyone. That was someone else. Ooh, this dude looks scary. As we walk past Mount Pleasant, which kind of merges into Jarvis Street just south of here. Puma 772, that disgusting monster should be ashamed. Go Jays. Puma 772, thank you. Let me just get across the street here. Oh, I hear Hangul. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, anyone not covering up a cough or sneeze in public should be very ashamed. Thank you for the support, and more importantly, go Jays. Yeah, call me old-fashioned, but turn your head away from anyone and cover up with a public cough or sneeze. If I was on like a first date with someone and they just openly coughed or sneezed without covering, that would very much be our last date. That's just one of those little things that makes you think, if you're that type of person, no thanks, even if everything else is perfect. Buggy Smith. Yeah, some people these days, though, are so overworked going job to job, they literally probably have no other way to get a bite than to do it on transit. As long as the food doesn't stink, people don't make a mess and they keep to themselves, so I don't really mind. Someone has a bite on transit. I don't do it myself. This is Sherbourne Street coming up. So we're about to hit a bit of a quieter patch of Bloor Street. So for those of you that are here for the people watching, there'll be a little bit less of that. Hey, I think this girl's intercepting her food delivery guy. And she had ID out, which is smart. You gotta be who you say you are. Were they just running, trying to make the light they had no chance in hell of making? This is Sherbourne. There's a really good French restaurant, Maison Selby, just south of here. A Shep says, "Hola, mi la familia." Michael So says, "The bad part of town." I don't think so. A little rough around the edges and spots, but I have never once had a single issue in all my years of living, including when I'm recording on Sherbourne. I had a few kind of funny encounters with people that you might be kind of scared of, but they were cracking jokes. Christophe says, "But if they take 2 or 3 seats eating, that's an issue." Well, that's another thing. I mean, it's one thing if the subway or transit's at like 10% capacity. Yeah, take up the seat beside you, who cares? But as soon as there's any volume of people on it, you get 1 seat. Don't be one of those jerks who are like, "Oh, I'll move my bag when someone asks to sit there." Or you'll wait till every other seat is filled up first. That's another instant deal breaker. Yeah, Deb, Castle Frank is a beautiful street. It's really like an extension of Rosedale. Unfortunately, it's a dead end, so I don't find myself going there too often unless I have a lot of time. Speaking of time, let me work something out here. I'm getting a message. I'm being asked what I want to eat. Sorry, guys. Being asked how many chicken wings I would eat. Jay says, "Where am I? This is not real Toronto." Well, you don't know what the hell Toronto is. This is very much real Toronto. We're on Bloor Street East, downtown. I was not aware that real Toronto had a specific location. We're going to be over in Riverdale soon. So I'm being bombarded with questions. What kind of chicken do I want? What sauces do I want? It's getting difficult to respond. Well, I guess I'm having wings. Engage Studio. St. Jamestown neighborhood is just to the south, Rosedale just to the north. You know what, I should cross the street here. We'll walk, make it. There we go. It'll be a little bit nicer on this side. You can see into the valley a little bit. That's me, hello. Just got recognized by the dude driving that Mazda. Buffalo or medium. I'm not even looking at the list of sauces. How do I like my pillow to be fluffed? That's a weird question. I have no idea. I'm no longer a duvet person though. Fuck duvets. My days of taking them apart, washing the cover, and occasionally washing the duvet itself in the big industrial size machine are done. I just bought like a really nice comforter. Just throw the whole thing in the laundry every once in a while. What are the odds I'm recognized in the city of Toronto for what I do, considering there's 3 million people living in Toronto at the moment, and a lot more in the GTA. I'm like the king of Kensington. Greetings, Diane from New Jersey. Hey, Billy Bishop Airport flies to Newark. But soon, there'll be flights directly to either LaGuardia or JFK. I was just reading about that. Perhaps one day I'll go visit my favorite city outside of this one on this continent. Sorry, Montreal, but it's New York. All right, we got some absolutely spectacular fall colors. I'm gonna hope no one knocks my gimbal off the ledge here. Please don't knock my gimbal. I'm gonna take a few pictures, because this is pretty stunning. Possibly a thumbnail. Photo. I don't want to be in portrait mode. Lisa says, holy fuck, the colors. Maybe if I point the camera that way a little more. I'm being asked if it's okay if I have a drink or not. This is very complicated. Just order some fries. Jillian says, does this take your breath away? I'll say yes, but the answer is no. I want to get these colors in the picture I was taking. But I need to get this way a little bit more. Don't drop the camera. It's more like don't let some nut job knock my camera. If you were here for a nice sunset, that would be as spectacular as it gets, wouldn't you think? Oh my, these are some killer photos I'm taking. My camera is doing some magic, amplifying that sunset to look way better than it really does. Thank you, Samsung, for being a little inaccurate. Lorraine says beautiful. Brad Palmer says I agree, very nice showing. Yeah, but apparently this isn't the real Toronto, guys. Which means I don't know where I am or what I'm talking about. John says it's true, I got the Pixel 10 and it looks better on the screen. Well, that's the thing. These things have OLED screens and they turn up the saturation a little bit just to make things pop. So it's kind of funny. You got all these people comparing their camera quality by looking at the photos they took through their phone screens. But you put them up on a properly calibrated monitor and they look a lot less vibrant all of a sudden. Yeah, I think I've got a new wallpaper. Armchair Guru says, nice drive down the Don Valley at this time of year. Oh, any time of year going south on the Don Valley, if traffic is light, is amazing. That's one of the most enjoyable drives you can make. You're kind of winding through a valley. The skyline starts looming overhead to the right. It is like car commercial material. What would be awesome, they could never do it, was if like the Indy or F1 just made a big circuit, the Don Valley, QEW, 427 and 401. I mean, I guess that's a little straightaway heavy. But if they could somehow incorporate the southbound Don Valley into a motorsport race, that would be sensational. Am I eventually getting to the Dome or am I going closer to my pad? I'm going to a friend's home. Let's watch the game with some Wingstop, apparently. Some Wingstop, some beers. We got the game in 2 hours. Driving Highway 11 and 12 up to Aurelia is gorgeous, says Christos. And I should have enough battery to make it. Doug Ford would agree to an extended Indy race provided there's a tunnel under the 401. No, he would agree to anything provided there's enough money being shoveled into his pockets. If there's one thing that man does, it's sell out anything to screw over the working class and make him and his buddies richer. It's literally not even a secret or something he tries to do or cover up. Hey, Mark D, thanks for the walk. Johnny Strides, gotta go. Enjoy the game. Go Jays. Well, I hope you have a wonderful birthday dinner tonight, Mark D. Sorry I couldn't be there, but thank you so much for the super chat. It's your birthday. I should be sending you something, but thank you so much. It's much appreciated. Happy birthday to Mark D. I first was sniped by Mark D. That's just a word for running into viewers on stream, I think at the Harbourfront Center or very near there a long time ago, and again shortly after that at the CNE a few years ago. Oh man, I think I timed it a little bit off. If I was only there around now at the Valley, I think we'd be getting a hell of a nice sunset. Pirate says, happy birthday, Mark. Oh, there's tons of sirens up ahead. I see what looks like a fire truck. I can hear them. Bayview Avenue down below. Howard Charco says 6:18. I missed a chat. I miss a lot of chats. But Mark D, everyone's wishing you a happy birthday. Hopefully the Jays notch a W for your big day. Pretty cinematic. Good job, camera work. Camera work. Oh man. My brain is misfiring all over the place. Yamamoto is stretching right now. Hey man. Snell was supposed to be their ace. Well, they really have 4 aces, but he was their chosen one to go game 1, and we got to him. Yamamoto, I think, is 2-1 in the playoffs. I think the Phillies got to him 1 game. Him and Gosman have almost identical stats. But it's the Jays who actually have the edge in the bullpen, I would think. As amazing as that sounds. And they definitely have an edge at the bottom of their lineup. It's almost like they're a really good team. Phuket Walk, member for 11 months. Go Johnny and go Jays. Phuket Walk, thank you so much. Alex from Thailand, thank you for the super, or the 11 months of membership. Snell is an unlucky name. If someone with the last name of Snell proposed to you, ladies, would you think twice about taking that? Do I want to be Mrs. Snell? No offense to anyone last name Snell. But I think these days it's common for people to keep their last name or do the hyphenated thing, right? And there's a lot more kids these days with hyphenated last names, combining the parents' last names together. There is where I live, Midtown, Yonge and Eglinton. The camera seems to want to focus on these bars. Kirk will have another lucky game. It's not lucky. Kirk has been working pitch counts up all year. A BJ is better than a Yank any day, says Chris, the Pepsi driver. Hey man, there's been a number of years where the Yankees have had our number. If you think about it, this is the first year we've really had anything resembling a rivalry with the Yankees. They've never met in the playoffs before. They've never gone toe-to-toe down the stretch. I mean, it's always the Yankees and the Red Sox, or the Yankees and the Rays, or the Yankees and the Orioles. It's never been the Yankees and the Jays down to the wire. There's the DVP. We were talking about that earlier. Some call it the Don Valley parking lot. Canada Journey says we're out of Toronto. Oh man, that would be an awesome sunset. This is Bloor Street East as a subway train rumbles by. But in about 40 meters, Bloor Street East turns into Danforth Avenue. Sasaki is going to be a problem. The key is to render him useless, just to have enough of a run differential that he doesn't trot out for the 8th or 9th. And if they go up 2-0, and if they're winning in the third game, we might see Sasaki get trotted out in like a 6th or 7th inning situation. Because at that point, what the hell are you saving him for? We've seen a number of managers make that mistake. That's the beauty of the postseason. You'll see starters in the pen and high leverage relievers with your setup man and your closer coming in early. Also makes me think Bo Bichette isn't quite right. As in, he's worse off today than he was before yesterday's game. Otherwise, why is he sitting? Tomorrow should be an off day. Well, it is. Like, what are you saving him for? It's the World Series. If you burn him out and he can't go anymore, so be it. He's a free agent anyways. Don't give him the Kawhi load management treatment during the World Series. Will I be streaming the game from my other channel again tonight? No. I'm watching this game with some other folks IRL. I've only done 3 playoff game streams. We'll see if I do another one, but it's not an every game thing. They're fun. Oh, you can tell we're having a hell of a nice sunset. Kyle Roth says the key to winning tonight's game is small ball. Hey, the Jays have been solid 1 through 9, driving up pitch counts, getting on base, putting the ball in play. They've got this really unique, almost unheard of mix of not swinging and missing, yet still having good power numbers. You watch Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani, those guys have lots of swings and misses in their game. But the Jays have been swings and hits and putting the ball in play and not striking out. But still, hitting more than their share of dingers. It's kind of unprecedented what this offense is doing. Some would even say unsustainable, but so what? They're doing it at the right time. As we go east on the north side of Bloor in the Plater Estates, I'm just going to keep going into Greektown.
That's how I'll do it.
That stretch of Bloor from Sherbourne to Broadview is quite different from the rest of Bloor and Danforth. Janice says, let it ding. Oh, there's someone playing over there tonight. October 25th, the Beta Band?
That's him right there.
Doors open 7 p.m. October 26th, Chris Williamson, 29th. That's the Danforth Music Hall. I would have a tough time going to a show tonight, knowing the Jays were on. Ontario girls here. Carl says, Mills Greektown restaurants serve an amazing burger. I don't know where that is. There's the LCBO. No need to pop in there. I've got some brewskis in my backpack. Lisa says I'd have to go to shows for that to be a thing. That is very true. Coming up is Plater. I think this area has the highest concentrations of restaurants per square foot in North America. Well, I'm not quite in Greektown yet. Ooh, Krispy Kreme. I was gonna say I could pop in there and pick some stuff up, but I'm eating wings tonight. Do I really want to double dip on the unhealthiness?
And the other movie that I want to dog.
And for some reason I've crossed over to the south side. There's a new Indonesian restaurant that opened up that is quite excellent. They started as a ghost kitchen during the pandemic and it was so popular. They opened a physical location. I went there about a month ago and it was quite good. I'll point that out when I walk past it. That won't be for several blocks. Thanks to all 600 plus of you who have tuned in. If you're new here and you want to join in the chat, you do have to be subscribed. But it's free. I go live 3-4 times a week on this channel. And once a week or so on the other channel. There's a link to that down in the description. And I post videos every morning pretty much on this channel at 9 a.m. EST. And there's a chat. You can watch along with everyone for those if you want. It's a Persian restaurant. I'm a YouTuber. Oh, Johnny Strides?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah, we're live right now.
Cool.
Are you gonna watch the Jays game?
Yeah, we're gonna watch it.
Awesome.
Enjoy.
You too. Have a good one. There's Chiang Mai. I always get that. Are you the YouTuber? Well, I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah.
We've met a few friendly people. One dude in a car. That Indonesian couple on Spadina. That guy. I think I'm more likely to run into someone than not. Sometimes I get messages saying, hey, I saw you, but I didn't want to disturb you. So there's probably a whole lot of people that just never say hi for whatever reason. Drake is going tonight to the Sky Dome. There's the Momo Hut. I used to go to the Momo House. I haven't tried this one yet, but that's all that's left after the other one closed down. The Night Baker. Pantheon. David C says, let's go Blue Jays. There is stacked. Look at that. Mondays to Fridays, 7 to 9, $6.99. I mean, there's no coffee there. So by the time you add a coffee or tea with tax and tip, you're probably at like 13 bucks, but that's still a good deal. And even not during their happy hour, it's reasonably priced for what it is. Definitely a better deal than going to Denny's or something. Speaking of reasonably priced, that used to be this place, Massini. But at some point over the pandemic, they really ratcheted up their prices. Oh, we're gonna pick up a copyright on this because where's that music coming from? Sorry guys, this stream's gonna get demonetized because they are blasting some music ridiculously loud there at the Alexander the Great Park. Am I going to the game? Negative. I gotta mute it again just for a little bit. All right, maybe we'll be okay. I don't know what's going on over there. They've got like a DJ set up.
shop?
Oh, I think that Indonesian restaurant I mentioned is coming up just on the right here. Ticket prices are ridiculous. Well, we can thank Mr. Doug Ford for that. We had legislation that capped resale prices at 50% over face value. That moron takes office and scraps it. Then he complains that resale prices are too high. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Have you done one single good thing for anyone for your time in office who isn't already well off? The answer to that is no. Oh, you sent everyone a $200 check right before the election? Gee, thanks. Tacos Morris. You can't really blame Ticketmaster. Businesses are going to get away with whatever they can get away with. Their job is to make money. We need people to create the environment which is fair for us, and that falls on Dougie's shoulders, and he failed spectacularly at that. I might have accidentally walked past this restaurant we're looking for. There's Ramen Buto Nibo. Jumbo TV says he's doing wonderful for corporate socialism and privatizing healthcare. Like I said, the people that are already well off. Are you a nurse or a doctor, or do you work in healthcare? Well, you're getting squeezed by him pretty good. Are you a teacher, educator, anyone in the school system? You're getting squeezed. Howard says first time ever paid to vote. It's the playbook. Break the healthcare system on purpose so you can justify privatizing as much of it as you can. Break the education system on purpose so you create a generation of stupid voters who are exactly the people who vote for you. Another move right out of the playbook. Remove rent control because fuck the working class. It's not like there's a housing crisis and the population is out of hand. I mean, if we had an adequate housing supply, yeah, we don't need rent control. The market would handle itself, but we don't. He's also underfunding the LTB, the Landlord-Tenant Board, which settles disputes. So when deadbeat tenants don't pay their rent and landlords are on the hook for that, well, that screws over the small-time landlords. The bigger, deep-pocketed landlords and rental corps can wait those things out. And they just eat out the smaller guys that couldn't afford it. So whether you have a shitty landlord or a shitty tenant, you're stuck with them for a very long time because Ford has choked the LTB on purpose. Everything he does is by design. And yet, just like the moron down south, there's stupid people who lap him up and support him. But anyways, that's the reason why Blue Jays tickets are so expensive. On a more positive note, it's a beautiful night. He did make Trump throw a temper tantrum, though. He did, but he also spent 73 million public taxpayer dollars to do that. $73 million. You have a healthcare system that is choking on itself, and you're spending $73 million to run ads in the US. Gee, good job, Mr. Fiscal Conservative. Yeah, I like the ad. I like what it's done, but would I approve spending that much on it? Hell no. He's also underfunding the Ontario court system overall, and that leads to criminals being released on bail. Which is cyclical because you're eventually telling the cops, don't bother to arrest this person. You're just going to see them on the streets the next day. I mean, you'd be pretty defeated too if you went into work every day and everything you did was just undone instantly. Justin Bieber and Drake singing tonight. That'll be interesting. We could also talk about the Science Center, Ontario Place. It's just never ending with that guy. Johnny strides for premiere. No, you don't want me anywhere near office. But hey, Doug, keep using bike lanes as a distraction.
Try there again.
There's a Dollarama. Chris Mill says, sounds like I'm not a fan. You could say that. This place is always blasting the tunes out loud, and they've got the heaters. Just gonna mute it for a sec. Oh, that place is so good. He's great at blaming others for his own corruption and incompetence. I mean, I get it. The people that were in office before him, not exactly good, nor did they have a good track record, but holy shit, that does not mean you default to this guy. What do you do? Right? DEWK 546, way to obey your signals. I mean, I waited till it started flashing. That person had plenty of room to stop. Must have been on their phone or something. Anyways, let's be on a positive note to end the stream. Go Jays! Game starting in less than an hour and a half. Gossman versus Yamamoto. My prediction is 5-3. I'm a huge Jays fan, but I'm calling Jays in 7. We gotta lose sometime. So I hope I'm dead bloody wrong. But if it doesn't go our way tonight, it's not the end of the world. All right, I've arrived at what I'm having for dinner tonight, apparently. So on that note, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Sorry for listening to some of my rants over the past few minutes. Huge thanks to our mods, Patreon supporters, channel members, everyone who sent support during the stream. You've been awesome. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, only if you want. I should be live, if all goes to plan, tomorrow evening or night on the Johnny Stumbles channel. So head over there and make sure you're subscribed if you want. But I want to thank everyone so much for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Go Jays, go. Hopefully we're up 2-0. Thank you, Brad Plummer. Yeah, we're live.
Hey, what's up, TikTok? How many viewers?
621.
Are you on Kick?
YouTube.
YouTube. Oh,
I'm just Johnny Strides. I'm just wrapping up right now.
Johnny Strides.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go give us some, man.
Awesome.
Buy Johnny Stride's chat. Subscribe.
Guys, subscribe to Johnny Strides.
All right, have a good night, guys.
You too.
Friendly dudes, but we're gonna wrap this up once again. So go Jays go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy birthday, Mark D. And have a good one, guys. Yoink.